Guys, welcome back to Choose Your Own Path. Today, well, I showed you the other video, a little sneak peek what we're gonna do. Now, I've been watching, inspiration-wise, I've been watching lots of YouTube, and I have a lot of people, Danny Harris, Just Carve Raw, Charles Womack, better get back at it, buddy. People like that. Always a great inspiration to watch videos. I'm really loving the way they do stuff. Being a carver of many years, we've always tried to expand, do stuff, what we can and can't do. One of the things I've been going on is looking for people who actually fish. And there's tons, really tons. One of the guys that I got hooked on, see how I did there, is the Fish Locker. Now, the Fish Locker is a guy that's in the UK. I mentioned him before. I made a blue lobster, it's in the back there. Sort of on, because I've been watching his stuff and he's catching a lot of lobsters. One of the things is I watch his videos and I love the fact that this man is very informative, super nice guy. Basically, he sounds like, he's a spot on kind of guy. He says right a lot, right, and he's funny. Anyway, check out his channel. I mean, I know he's got a lot of subs. He probably doesn't need any more. No, he always needs more. More the better. Very good, informative, out in the UK. So I reached out to him the other day. He was watching a video and I just, I was watching what he was doing and I just said, I just need an inspiration of what kind of fish I want to carve next. And he said to me, and I've seen him catch these fish before. He said, what about now I'm going to show you, it's a male, I don't know if I'm saying this right, I'm going to look where I've written it down. It's called a Cuckoo wrasse. So Cuckoo-wrasse, a Cuckoo wrasse. Now, I just took a picture off the internet. I asked him if he could send me a picture, but I don't know if he got to it yet, but that's fine. So I took it off the internet and I just kind of printed it. Beautiful colors. I'm going to get better, when I'm doing the painting, I'll get better colors for it so I can see. Very strong fish. This is in the UK, so there's a lot of it going on out there, I guess, where he fishes. So what I came up with is I had this glue. These are, our cedar wood. This is a 2 by 10. I glued them together. And then what happened is when I glued it, I guess it cracked, which is fine because I'm not going to use all that. I'll cut it there. So I drew out the pattern of what I want to do. It's not going to be a very big fish, but it's going to be sizable. I mean, it's going to be thick enough. I didn't notice that the back here is kind of broken, but that's okay because by the time I cut it out. So I'm going to get on the saw here. I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to show you, steps of what I'm doing. So stay tuned. So we got our fish. Our fish goes this way. So we have our fish cut out. Like the fins are last, right? Pretty close to the size that I want. But now we need to get it around. Stay boo-boo. Let's just take it. This is our round, I think it's a 10-inch sander. We do have this one here, is flatter. That's good for the sander. Now we're going to go back to the carving table. And we're going to try to give it a little bit more of a look. Okay, guys, so we're going to go with our saber-tooth bird. This is the big taper one. I love using this one only because it has an easy way to contour everything around. So, there's the fish. I was going to show you this way. What we're trying to do is get a thin enough tail, because fish have thin tails. Now this one has like a kind of a funny looking rounded tail. I don't know, kind of looks like that, eh? I think the picture is pretty much up to date with it. I'm not sure, because I've never seen this fish before. We don't catch these kind of fish out here, obviously. And the biggest problem is not knowing, like, what kind of girth they have. I mean, he shows, people show you, oh, look at my fish, and they go like this, but they don't, I mean, you need more insight to what's going on. I'm thinking like to get rid of a lot of the bottom ass part. It's pretty thick. So we have the shape of our wrasse. Sorry, pretty much defined of how we want it to look. So now we're gonna, and then we did a little bit of the gills, nothing special. So I'm gonna bring you down here this way, and I'm using this is our tie tools, and this is gonna bring out the mouth. So I'm gonna try to do this a little bit on camera here, I guess. See if I can get you on here. What I'm gonna do is, instead of making teeth, I'm just gonna cut up and down inside the mouth, and it will form out like, it'll make like teeth. That's where I'm at with using the cuts-all rasp. I could always round off the sides so it doesn't look all choppy, like so. And it files, it sands it also, which is nice. Okay, so next step is the eyes. Now, what I notice about them is they have massive bulging eyes, and they're pretty big. So we're gonna look for a good spot, say around here. So just starting on one side, digging in, keeping it at an angle, and I'll be going around the eye that I just drew, like so. And then what I could do is just pull back with the same burr on an angle, just pull it back a bit, and what that's going to do is going to take that big gap that we had, and we're going to pull out that piece. Like, we're just going to carve so the eye is protruding more than the actual fish itself. We're here burning scales. So I started off last night. I'm going to show you what I do. So let's get you a little bit closer here. Oh, getting all sucks. All right. So I took this round bit, or scaling tip that I use, and I want to do it this way. So between each one, all I'm doing is I'm doing a half circle, because obviously I don't have a full circle. All right, I'll just do a couple. All right, so you got that. And then all I did is I flipped it around, and that's how I make my full circle scales. That's all it is. Now, there is a science to all this stuff. I think, the scaling is very important. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever let anybody say, oh, you just gotta muck around and do whatever. No, you gotta do it right. But I'm also looking at it as, I got this thing going on where the color is the most important for me. I want to get that color. Now, this doesn't justify anything because it's printed. So, okay, and I'm going to check on, well, when I, pause you guys here, I'm going to check how far to go. A lot of times, scaling only stops at a certain point on the fish, or starts on a certain point. That's why I went below the gills. I started below the gills to come down. That was, to me, important, to start there. And I could keep on going, smaller ones there. And then size-wise, fish like a snake have different size scales. I'm not going to get into detail with that. I'm not at that level where, I see that. I see the fish that I make, and I see a lot of people's fish that they make as art, as from a distance. So when I look at this from a distance, I say that looks like a fish. Just like, that guy up there, it looks like a fish. If I was to scrutinize it, or have someone come in and, really go at it, and say, hey, that's not right. Well, guess what? It's not a real fish. I'm trying my best to get to it. All right, I'm going to keep on going there. I'll show you what looks like when it's done, because you ain't going to sit here and watch me do this all day. So, I'm back. I ended up putting the fins on. I carved the fins. I know I tend to forget to show you guys what I do, but I mean, I don't not very good at these things, so this is the best I can do. You can see inside, I got the 2 fins sticking out. The fin, I think that's all there is for these guys. I'll have to check. I'm hoping that's all there's 2, 4, 5. So this is going to be part 1 of this fish. Now I'm going to take out, we have a gesso paint that I got. I don't know where the hell I put it, but it's here somewhere. And I'm going to mix that up. I'm just going to put that on off camera. And then I will bring you guys in for the paint this time, because we're going to use the airbrush for this one. So here we go. Not a massive fish, but big enough for what we're doing. And then after we paint him, we'll put him on either a base or something, you know, have him fishing. He'll be swimming. I didn't put no curve on him. Didn't think I had to. I think it's a straight basic fish. I need to find the colors. So again, part 1. Next one will be painting. And with the painting, hopefully if it doesn't go too long or I have to redo stuff or whatever, we'll add the base with it, all right? So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2.